Hi there, Release Fire here, so it's time to take down Hellen Gravely. It's like the second to last boss in Luigi's Mansion 3. I'm going to talk you through exactly what you need to do to be able to beat her. She seems a bit tricky to begin with, but as soon as you work out exactly what you need to do, she's actually really easy, and I'm going to talk you through all of that now. Hopefully the video is going to help you out. If it does, drop me a like below, but start by bursting above this laser and it will reverse, so just burst again, and then it changes into a different kind of form of laser with 4 different strands. And what you need to do is change to Luigi and let him drop to the floor below, and from there he can start to turn off the different strands. So he's turned off one of them, and then you can use the burst to get around here, turn off that one again. You just got to kind of like press X close to it. For this one, you can see them at the bottom there. You need to plunger it and pull, and that takes away 3 of them, and you kind of only need 3. So as soon as you see Hellen Gravely getting anywhere near Luigi, transition back to him and then move to prevent her from doing any damage. And in this case, because I only had 3 strands of the laser on, I could hit her with the strobe bulb after she's done her drop move, and then use the poltergust to start doing the damage. And then you get back to the laser, so it is again, use the burst to jump out of the way, but then it sends out 3. Now the best way to avoid this is try to circle around the middle, because it's a shorter route and you don't have to outrun the lasers quite as far. And then do the same in the opposite direction, and you should be able to avoid both of those just about, or at least enough to keep you with enough health to be able to take her on. Now you can see the 4 strands come back again, and I'm back as Luigi underneath, trying to take out as many of the switches, but at this stage it has this water move that flushes him away, so you will need to head on back down. But I just got one of the switches that was close to Luigi before it got me, so that works out quite well. So then go on through the pipe, which you can see to the left at the top, and that'll bring me out here. And then again, just take out 3 strands and then get back to waiting for it to do the drop move, hit her with the strobe bulb and use the poltergust to start finishing her off. She's got quite a good amount of health, so it takes quite a while. You've got to do this a good few times, but if you keep following this process, you should be able to finish her off fairly easily. But the problem is these lasers get a little bit more complicated each time, so that one's relatively easy to get away from because you can do the burst to jump it, and you can run out of its way, but the burst is definitely the best way to avoid it. And then randomly it went back to this phase, which is a bit of a trick phase because it makes you think that you've got enough time to be able to get her again. So she does the drop move on you, you hit her with the strobe bulb and start to use the poltergust to get her, but she just runs off. So it's kind of like a little bit of a tricky situation that sometimes you can get her, most of the time she can get her, but every now and again she will be able to get away. So you need to just reset the clocks and go back to doing what you were doing before, which is dodging these lasers. So it sends out 2 at the same time, so you've got to move as quickly as you can and try to stay in the middle. You can see this next section, I don't quite stay close enough to the middle because I got a little bit too close to one of them and managed to take a bit of damage. And because there's not that many heart drops in this section, it's really important to minimize as much as possible the amount of times that you take damage. So you can see I'm back to Luigi down below. I've turned off one of the strands, but I noticed that Hellen Gravely has gotten close to Luigi, so I transitioned back to him and then transitioned back to Luigi to send him down again. I got flushed away by some water, so then I'm in this area, and again I just used the burst move to be able to get through. Use the plunger, pull the switch, and that's 2 of them done. And again, I could see that Hellen Gravely was getting close to Luigi, so transition back to him, move out of the way, transition back to Luigi, try to get to another switch, and as soon as I take out 3 of them, that is more than enough to be able to go after her properly, because you've got more than enough room to be able to avoid her and the lasers. So you just need to kind of lead her away from the laser. So you want to be the opposite side when she does her drop move, and that should give you loads and loads of space to to be able to pull in the opposite direction with the poltergust when you start to drag her in, and then smash her with A. So you can see the taps in the screen show that that area underneath is being flushed away. But fortunately at this stage I don't have Luigi down there, but I can see her coming over to do a smash move. So I'm just moving out of the way, and luckily I was able to get her with 2 of the laser strands on. It was pretty close, but it is doable to be able to do some damage then, and then I finished her off. But if you don't manage to do the same, then you just need to recycle, rinse, repeat everything that I showed you a little bit earlier. So that is everything that you need to know, hopefully, to beat Hellen Gravely here on floor 15. And if it does, drop me a like below. As ever, all of your support is massively, massively appreciated. You can also subscribe to the channel if you haven't already with the links on the left-hand side, and hit that bell button if you want to get notifications for all of my videos as they come out. You can see the rest of my guide to Luigi's Mansion 3 with the links on the right-hand side. Leave any comments below. Let me know how you get on against Hellen Gravely, and I will catch you next time.